Okay, good day, people. I thought I'd try to respond here just really quickly, if I can, to one of the comments that was posted on my update video. That was the one on dog poop, windy leaves, and leaky basements. And here's what the person wrote on that video. Person commented, "This is a drogue den." I don't know who the person is. It says, "Steph asked you to debate and you refuse. You're a coward, and it shows you want to hide your ignorance. It's okay, though, to be a coward and snipe at him from your safe channel. It shows everyone your true colors." This is what the person wrote. And I thought it'd be so interesting, and I wanted to at least quickly give a quick response to this. First off is, and again, I want to just maybe try to contextualize. There's so much that's going on in this comment. One is that I really don't believe in debate or the value of debate. I think on YouTube it becomes a kind of spectacle. It seems like an odd, melodramatic way to exchange ideas. And I think that the larger point is that I think there is a much greater value in dialogue. And that's maybe what I would want to talk about just briefly here. That I think, and this comes from people like Krishnamurti, Bohm, others, just Eastern thought in general, right, is to realize that there is a kind of violence that you can bring to your own life by the way that you understand yourself, the way that you understand ideas and change and growth, right? I mean, you can be violent to yourself to the extent, and again, it's in this very comment, that if just even suggest that someone would be a coward by wanting to refuse to debate. Why would that be cowardly? Why would anyone have anything to fear from a debate? Let me guess. So if someone wins a debate, they should gloat and be happy? Well, I mean, what is that? It's very odd too. And I guess I would want to qualify this as well. I never called Steph a coward. I was asking why he was unwilling to simply accept my videos that were being posted as responses. I had offered to post a couple. I wasn't trying to, quotes, hide my ignorance. No, I'm trying to expose my ignorance. I'm here on YouTube. If I wanted to hide my ignorance, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel, and I certainly wouldn't be posting responses and then trying to post them. When Stefan wouldn't accept them, I was just wondering why. Now, maybe he thought that my concerns and criticisms are beneath him, and that he's already addressed all this and there's really no point in having those videos on there. But he was allowing responses from other people. Now, maybe it's that they were going to be too engaging and he was going to feel obligated to respond, and he didn't really want a response. He would have rather have had what he was going to call a debate. Okay, well, there I would want to say, I'm not really interested in a peacock-like rooster fight over some of the issues, right? In some way, I'm not sure who that's for. Why? And especially given, again, this would be the dialogue moment, given the various position that Stefan, I think, advocates, which is a thinking for oneself. I mean, I'm very interested here that you, Mr. Drogden, why did you not respond to any of the issues that were raised in the video? Why didn't you shoot a response and articulately explain what you thought would be the issue there, of how you would respond to the problem of, isn't there always going to be something that's going to walk, talk, and soon enough smell like what we're going to call government by a different name, but there's going to be something there having to arbitrate, having to oversee, and intervene at various places. But instead of you giving any response to those, what you do is you defer to Steph. And I thought it was funny, after I posted these videos, again, this is interesting, right? I think no one has to be attached to this. I think anyone wants to gloat over winning or feel bad over losing a debate, any of that kind of stuff, that seems so ego attached. That's such a kind of violence to your mind. Right? I mean, we're performing a kind of violence if we don't see the open exchange of ideas as opportunities for growth. No one has to be a coward. No one has to be brave in facing a debate. Some of that is really kind of an odd language, right? It's very odd. And I feel like right here, Mr. Drogden, do you think, could it be possible that you are wanting someone else to think for you, and that's why you're so interested in Stefan debating me. That is, you'd rather sit by the sideline and hope that someone else can give answers that you can just run around and collect like marbles on the floor. Or why aren't you thinking for yourself with regard to these? And I'm not trying to be contentious. It probably sounded contentious. I'm sorry if it did. I guess I'm trying to ask, why the ego attachment to ideas? How much violence do you think is being perpetuated here in the way that people think? See, I think thought as a kind of divisiveness can be violent. And it's not a violence that we're doing to one another. I'm not talking about name calling and getting the better of someone by showing that they're wrong. No, it has to do with an unwillingness to entertain how each of us can be wrong. My main concern, go watch all of the videos that I've done to Steph. There have been a number of them. This isn't the first couple. Steph and I have already had a dialogue. I mean, we'd shot videos before. My main concern all along has been oversimplification, the reduction of the world's complexities into some quick solutions that, from my sensibility, aren't going to work. Now, if somebody wants to say, well, you guys should argue and debate about that, I would rather have an open dialogue about some of the issues. I think the the sense of debate is what? Why do people value that? Is there a belief that we're going to get more answers, better answers? Is it about a spectacle? I mean, is it some sort of gladiator show where we're going to watch on the sideline? My own interest is in the radical transformation of consciousness that's going to have to go on in order for something like a sustainable new millennium. It's going to come from people who can radically think about things differently. And so many of the concerns, about the government, about the way that we, I guess, find conflict resolution, the way that we find purpose and meaning in our lives, the way that consumer capitalism is having its values affect various people, the way that the the populace is now divided into these things like Democrat and Republican or left or right. And the more that people get entrenched into these mob like beliefs where people create little information bubbles and then they subscribe to people who share and refract their beliefs, and then they want to get together in mobs, and then they each throw their delegate forward and have their sort of delegate argue and debate back and forth while the people on the sidelines are doing what? I wonder if there isn't, and I would love some response from people, is thought and the way that people think about ideas, just the idea that someone could be, quotes, a coward for not wanting to be in a debate, or even better, that some person should gloat and be proud if they win a debate, are not both of those deep forms of violence that are part of the problem right now? My own sense is that part of the problem, the real deep problems in society, have to do with the way that we think about persons, the way that we try to defend our ideas, the way that we have ego attachment to them. It has much more to do with the idea that one should be either, you know, proud to have been in an argument or to be cowardly, frightened of one. Either of those seem to be highly irrational. All right. At any rate, those are some thoughts. Thank you there for your comments. All right. Bye bye.